Hey guys, it's the Disco Spider, and before I get into my Ferdinand review, I just want to mention that this video is going to be different than my other newer animated film reviews, and I'm probably going to keep this style for my other newer animated films reviews, just because I've been lazy recently, and I saw Ferdinand like a couple of days before it came out, and I'm recording this now on December 30th, so it's been a long time since I've seen this, and I've just been putting it off, because for my reviews, I usually write scripts, and I've been kind of lazy. I'm just like, I'll do it later. But that day hasn't happened and will not happen now. So I decided instead of doing like a scripted review, I'm just gonna do off the cuff, just talk about my opinions. I did write some stuff on some piece of paper. I did do some pros and cons. Like I'll talk about the good things about a movie and then the bad things about the movie. My other reviews will probably just stay the same, just scripted as well. But this, so I can make videos easier and faster, I can just do off-the-cuff reviews. And if you don't like that, definitely tell me in the comments, and then I might, if a lot of people don't like it, then I'll go back to my original style. But if you don't mind it, then that's fine. So yeah, let's get on to my actual review. Now, Ferdinand, I was kind of hesitant towards this movie. I am not one of those people that hate Blue Skies with like a passion, or not even like think they're a bad studio. I agree that Blue Skies needs to stop making Ice Age sequels, but I still like Blue Skies because they've made movies that I like. The first two Ice Age films I really like. Robots is probably their best film. Thor and Here's a Who is actually pretty good and is underrated, and the new Peanuts movie was really good too. So they at least have some good movies. Yeah, movies like Rio 2, and I haven't seen Epic, but that movie didn't look that great. And then the Ice Age, the millions of Ice Age sequels, they just need to stop. I don't think they're as bad as like Illumination Studios or anything, but I do understand people's complaints. But I'm really rooting for Blue Skies. Well, I was until I saw Ferdinand, and now after I'm like, you know what? I understand now. Just Blue Skies, what are you doing? But before I get into why Ferdinand was not a good movie, let's talk about the positives. For the most part, the animation was good. I really love the bull designs. I like how they took the style of the 1930s cartoon and then just kind of made it more modern and just cool looking. I like their designs. But besides that, the animation wasn't that great, but we'll get to that later. Now, the last positive I can say about this film is that it tries. It tries to be a good film. I can at least, their heart is in the right place. A lot of animated films, you know that they're just pandering to kids. They just want to make money. They don't care about anything like the Emoji Movie or the Nut Job 2. In this movie, I can sense the people who wrote this film, who animated this film, who just were involved with this film. You know, they wanted to make a good film. You know, the message is at least the idea of the message. The heart is in the right place, and I do like that. But the keyword here is tries, and they don't make a good movie. But that's all I can say about the positives. Let's get into the cons, the negatives. So the first one here we have is that the story is very generic and dull. Like, it's every movie that you'd expect from this plot. You know, the main character doesn't fit in with everyone. He doesn't want to conform to the status quo. He wants to be his own person. He wants to do his own things, the things that he likes, and he doesn't believe in violence and any stuff like that. We know where this plot's going. We're like, oh, we've heard that before. And yeah, it's just very generic and boring. And another thing why this plot fails is that it's very fillery. There's barely any plot to this film. The basic plot in this film is that the characters try to escape where they live. That's it. The whole the other 90 minutes of the film is just the bulls just doing whatever. There's this one scene that lasts for like 3 to 5 minutes where it's just the bulls and the horses dancing, and it has nothing to do with anything. And it was just, there was a lot of scenes like that where it's like you could cut that out and it would not matter to the actual film. And even the execution isn't that good, along with, you know, the filler parts. It just felt very cliched. I just felt really bored during this film. Like, everything that happened I've seen before, and it just was not that good. And probably my biggest problem with the film is that I felt no connection to anything. When I was watching this film, I couldn't connect or like anything. Not the story, not the animation, not the characters. This movie felt like white noise to me. I was just watching it being like, okay, when's this over? It felt really hollow. Like, I know I said that they try to make a film, and I do still believe that they tried to, make a good film. It's just that it's still, like, they try to put effort, but there's no effort. You can see that they try to put effort, but there's still no effort in this film. And what makes this film bad is that not only, like, this movie is not, like, the Emoji Movie bad, or Nutjob 2 levels of bad, but it's not, like, it's the worst part about this film is that it is very forgettable. Sure, the movies like Nutjob 2 and Emoji Movie are really bad, but at least those ones are memorably bad, or at least Emoji Movie. A couple of years later, even next year, people will still probably talk about the Emoji Movie. This movie will be completely forgotten. Even me, while I'm trying to think about all the pros and cons right now, I can't remember this movie. I'm like, I saw this movie a couple of weeks ago, and I just don't remember anything. It's like, even when I saw this movie the day of, and I tried thinking of what I thought about the movie, I blanked out, because I'm like, what happened in this movie? I don't know. It is very forgettable, and it's like the worst thing you can say about a film, is even when you see the film, it's just forgettable. You just completely forget about it. And then talk about the animation. The animation was very choppy. I noticed there's some scenes where it just felt like they didn't render right. It felt like maybe they rushed it to, like, maybe they had like a couple of months left to finish the animation, but they're like, we gotta get it down like this month or next month, and they're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just rush it. That's what a lot of scenes felt. Not every scene was like that. There are some smooth scenes, but a lot of times I was like, I just noticed, like, that felt really choppy and weird. I don't like it. And then as for the other parts of the animation, I really, really, really hated the character animation of this film. Now, Blue Skies isn't known for their character animation. Like, Ice Age was pretty bad too, for like the humans at least, not like the bulls or the animals. Those look nice. Just the human character animation, they've not been that great. I think their best one has been Rio for the most part, but this one has got to be the worst. It's even uglier than, the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs films, their character animation. This is something about their eyes being way too far apart and their nose being so long and thick. It's just weird. I don't know, it's just very ugly. Speaking of the characters, none of the characters stood out. Not even Ferdinand, our main character. He was so generic. He was every single protagonist in a film, just a animated film. He felt like he hit like the generic blandness of every single animated character that's the main character. There's no interesting features about him. I will say that John Cena does do a good performance, surprisingly, but he just had nothing to work with. The character wasn't that great. And the other characters we have here, they serve no purpose to the film, like, whatsoever. The only one that I can actually see serving a purpose is the rival bull. He kind of makes sense why he's in this film. He's still generic, and he changes his way of thinking randomly for some reason. I don't know. We don't know why. He's just like, oh, I guess I'm a nice guy now. It's like, okay, but the character development was completely garbage, but at least he contributed to the plot. The other characters out there, they were complete filler, and the worst character was the goat character. She was so annoying. She tried to be like Donkey from Shrek, like just constantly talking, constantly just like, oh, it's funny when I talk, and when I can't stop talking, it's not funny. I mean, Donkey isn't the funniest or best character, but at least Eddie Murphy had charm. Kate McKinnon does not have charm, and in this movie at least. I don't want to hate on her, but in this movie she had no charm, and the character was, first off, not needed in this film, and just annoying. And the last thing I'll mention is that the film had bad humor, but then again, it is expected for a not-so-great animated feature. An animated feature for kids is solely just for kids to have not that great humor, but in here, especially with the goat, it just wasn't funny. It was just annoying. And that's the film. It's very forgettable. I don't recommend this film. It's not the worst film of 2017, or even the worst animated feature of 2017, thankfully to the Emoji Movie. That has that award or whatever. But it's still not good. It's definitely one of the weakest Blue Sky films, which is saying a lot, because they do have some bad animated films like the Ice Age sequels. But yeah, that's Ferdinand. This is the last animated film of 2017. I didn't review all of them. I didn't review The Star. I didn't review Rock Dog. I didn't review Lee, because for one, they didn't play in my theater. I forgot about them, and I just got too lazy. I just didn't really want to watch them. But that's the last animated film review of this year. So goody on that. I will be doing my top 10 best and worst films of 2017. I'm not gonna just be doing animation. One thing I'll get out of the way is that for my top 10 list, they're gonna be any movie I saw this year that came out this year. So sorry for any animation fan that you wanted me to talk about movies again, the anime movies again, because I probably won't, because this was one of the weakest for animated films, one of the weakest here for animated films, but I don't know. For any movie fan, I guess I'll be talking about a lot of new movies, or just movies in general that came out this year, so stay tuned for that. I'll also be doing, maybe I might be doing a top 10 most just anticipated movies of 2018. I might do that, I might not, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just rambling now. I'm the Disco Spider, and peace out.